doctor.
We know comedian Kurt Schoonraad as an alert, quick-thinking, funny man. But when he's at home, he's a slightly different person. Kurt is a snorer, and his wife Katrine is at her wit's end. Unsurprisingly, he's now taking it very seriously.
Anatomically, doctor, how does snoring work?
Well, basically it's a sign of obstructive breathing during sleeping, and it's quite a complex process in terms of producing the sound, but it's from the back of the nose to the voice box, the larynx. In between there's a collapsible space, and it's in that space that you get most of the sound produced.
Having large tonsils and existing nasal problems can also contribute to the severity of your snoring, as these conditions affect the pressure in your airway.
Is there anything I can do in my everyday life to avoid snoring?
Well, it's associated with being overweight, about 3 times more common, so if you can lose weight, that helps. You can avoid alcohol before you go to sleep, because that tends to relax the muscles in the throat even more and causes more snoring. And avoiding things like sleeping tablets and so on helps as well.
There are a number of medically supervised tests that can be done to identify the cause and effects of your snoring. Fearing a lifetime of being exiled to his couch, Kurt headed to the sleep clinic at Mediclinic Vergelegen. The specialized center is fully equipped to diagnose and treat a number of sleep-related disorders.
Now, clearly, Brian, this is not an episode of Star Trek. There's a whole lot of sleep apparatus attached to me. Please explain what this is all about.
Kurt, this equipment is trying to assess whether you have snoring or a much more serious condition called obstructive sleep apnea, where you stop breathing several times at night.
Stop breathing?
Yes, correct.
So how do you monitor my snoring?
We've got all these fancy sensors on you, and the interesting one is actually this. It's called a snore vibration sensor. And as you snore and the airway, the excess tissues in the airway move against each other, basically it picks up the vibration and the noise, and then that's what we see on the computer, so we know you have snoring. But then snoring also wakes up the brain several times. So we know if you are a pure snorer, basically you're just making the snore sound, or we actually need to treat your snoring. These sensors that we've put on you here, these are the chest and the abdomen sensor, and we have what is called the nasal sensor here. Basically, they will flatline if you stop breathing. Now, we see severe and serious cases in the lab whereby people stop breathing over 100 times per hour of sleep every single hour they sleep.
More than 100 times
More
per
than
hour?
100, that's correct.
All right, Brian, so shall we give it a swing and see what my problem is?
Doctors are concerned about snoring because it's a common symptom of sleep apnea, which can become a very serious condition. Sleep apnea sufferers stop breathing throughout their slumber, which forces the heart to work harder and pump blood faster. This can go on to cause numerous cardiovascular problems.
Kurt, wakey, wakey, time to wake up.
So, Brian, how did I do?
We found that you don't stop breathing, which is obviously the serious condition that you were worried about. But what we found is that your snoring is quite bad and you need one of these. It's called a snore kit or a mandibular advancement device.
A snore kit?
Yes. And I'm sure your wife will be sleeping much better with this.
Really? Maybe should I give it to her? That'll work. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, doctor.